Hello and welcome back to Women's Football Talk, the YouTube channel that brings you all the latest news and stories from the world of women's football. Now before we get into this week's video, make sure you like and subscribe and click on the post notification bell so you never miss a video of ours, and that you are following us on Twitter and on Instagram for all the latest news and stories as and when it happens. So this is the final rundown before the international break happens, where we look at all the games that are going to be happening across the world of football. So this week here in England sees the start of the Conti Cup, which is the League Cup format. Obviously it's split into 4 groups, 2 groups of 5 and 2 groups of 4, and the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea are not taking part in this early stages because of their commitment to the UEFA Champions League. So this week we have Manchester United travelling to Aston Villa as the Saturday fixture. Now obviously both sides are after perfect starts in the league, obviously winning both of their games so far, so that should be a really cracking game at the Bescott Stadium. Be very interesting to see if changes are made to their lineup, because sometimes in the Conti Cup teams make changes due to their league games. However, I think with this being the final set of fixtures before this international break next week, then I'm not expecting many changes from either sides. So I haven't had any full team news from Carla Ward's and her press conference yet, but Manchester United manager Mark Skinner said on Thursday that only Aoife Mannion and summer signing Rachel Williams are absent from his matchday squad possibilities. Everyone else is available. Now the rest of the fixtures take place on Sunday the 2nd of October. We have Durham taking on Sheffield United, Blackburn Rovers playing Leicester City, Sunderland playing Liverpool, Birmingham City playing Brighton and Hove Albion, which again I think that should be a really good game. Obviously there's now a division between the two sides, but I'm still expecting that to be a really good game. London City Lionesses versus West Ham United, Bristol City versus Crystal Palace, Lewes versus Charlton Athletic, Coventry United versus Southampton, and an all WSL tie between Reading and Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. So that is some fantastic games to look forward to as the start of the Conti Cup gets underway. Now over the Atlantic Ocean, it is the climax of the regular NWSL season and there is still a lot to play for. We have the final 2 playoff spots still up for grabs, with Houston Dash and the North Carolina Courage currently occupying those final 2 spots, and the for who finishes first is still up for grabs, with Portland Thorns currently leading it with 38 points, and then OL Reign, Kansas City Current and San Diego Wave all within 3 points of the Portland Thorns. So it's going to be very interesting to see who gets their final 2 playoff places and who finishes top of this regular season. Now the game to look out for this weekend potentially could be Chicago Red Stars versus Angel City. Now both teams currently sit outside the playoff places in 7th and 8th respectively. However, if the North Carolina Courage lose this weekend, then Chicago or Angel City with a victory could take that final playoff spot. So that's going to be very interesting to see. That is the final game this weekend in the NWSL. We start off with San Diego Wave versus North Carolina Courage. Now San Diego Wave under Casey Stoney in their first ever season have already secured their playoff spot in 4th place. So Chicago Red Stars and Angel City will be hoping that San Diego still pick up the victory over North Carolina so that their playoff spot can still be taken. Then we have Gotham FC versus Portland Thorns. Portland Thorns, like I say, are currently top but can still lose that top place position, and Gotham FC are already out of the playoffs, finishing the regular season in 12th place. And then Sunday's fixtures see Washington Spirit take on the Houston Dash. Now like I said, Houston Dash, if they were to lose and Chicago win, then Chicago would take their place in the playoffs. Angel City can't catch Houston Dash, but they can still catch the North Carolina Courage. Racing Louisville versus Kansas City Current. Kansas City Current, like I said, are a team that can still finish top or even second in the regular seeding standings, whilst Racing Louisville have nothing to play for. They could just finish above Orlando Pride in 9th place. And then OL Reign taking on the Orlando Pride. OL Reign, again, they are in 2nd place as it stands at the minute, so they can still take over the top spot in the NWSL and finish lower than second place where they currently are. So it's going to be some interesting things to see what happens this final weekend in the NWSL before this international break, and then the playoffs start there afterwards. And then it's also the race for the regular season Golden Boot, with Alex Morgan leading the way with 15 goals, and then Dabinya and Sophia Smith only 3 goals behind her with 12 goals each. So it's going to be a very good final weekend in the NWSL. Now back to mainland Europe, and in the Frauen Bundesliga in Germany, it is Wolfsburg versus Bayer Leverkusen this evening at 6:15. So that should be a really good game between the top 2 sides currently in the Bundesliga. And then Bayern Munich, the other top team at the minute in Germany, they play Duisburg on Sunday at 3 o'clock. So there should be some very good games to look out for over in Germany. This weekend in Spain, Barcelona play Madrid CFF on Saturday evening, whilst Atletico Madrid travel to Levante on Sunday morning. Real Sociedad travel to Sevilla on Sunday afternoon, and then the final game sees Athletic Club take on Real Madrid. Over in the Netherlands, most of the games take place today, with 2 taking place on Sunday. So today's games see VV Alkmaar play Excelsior, Feyenoord take on Telstar, and PEC Zwolle versus Fortuna Sittard. And then on Sunday, PSV play Den Haag and Ajax play Heerenveen. Obviously Ajax will be looking to get back to winning ways after being eliminated from the Champions League in midweek against Arsenal. Just the one game this evening in France, as Montpellier play Bordeaux, with a lot of the games taking place on Saturday, including Lyon versus Rodez at 1:30. And then on Sunday, the climax of this weekend's fixtures see Paris Saint-Germain travel to Le Havre just before 11:45. And then finally, over in Italy, one game tonight as Como play Inter Milan, 2 games tomorrow as Fiorentina play Sassuolo and AC Milan play Sampdoria, and then the final 2 fixtures taking place on Sunday. So they are this weekend's fixtures here in England, Europe, and obviously across the pond in the NWSL. Now, we won't have our usual recap in place on Monday. We'll be instead looking back at the Champions League group stage draw, which takes place on Monday afternoon, midday BST, 1 o'clock Central European time. So we'll have that, and then we'll be taking a short break whilst the international fixtures are on, unless there's any big breaking news happening across the world of women's football. But until our next rundown, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell as well. And make sure you're following us on Twitter and on Instagram for all the latest news and stories as and when it happens. And until next time, we'll see you soon.